listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay! Yeah! Yeah!
B to the R, O to the B, coming at you with the funny random rambling, talking about all sorts of things that'll make that rain day sunny. Yeah, it's hot and popping, fireball dropping, come get your laugh on. Yeah, that's the concept, you know he be rocking, Rob got the facts and all of the gossip. It don't matter where you are or who you with, you gotta tune right in. Bring your girl into your girl to bring your friends, be Robbie lit. Tune in your crib, in your whip, at your job. He got new shows every Sunday.
Here we go.
Wow, I never used that part before. It showed me it was counting down and everything. So we haven't started yet, but we are recording. So
Okay.
just checking levels and everything like that.
My phone's on silent. Yes, it's on silent.
I think I should probably do that too.
I literally had got a phone call like right before I walked into this room. I said, "Oh, I'll call you back. I have an interview." Well, which is good because it reminded me to put my phone on silent.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously things have changed for you and everything. It's just like since your announcement of winning the SummerSlam TikTok ring announcer contest, that's a mouthful. How many of these have you done since then? Or is this just a regular day in the office for you?
Oh, wow. A lot. Because since Tuesday last week, I've been talking to a lot of podcasts and then media from the Philippines too. So it's every single day I had an interview.
Well, shit.
Which is great. I love it because to me, it's I love sharing my story. And if I can inspire at least one person to follow their dreams, from hearing my story, then I'm really grateful for that.
Word. And it's funny because I didn't know the contest was going on. And I was actually at SummerSlam.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they made the announcement for you and everything, and I was seeing you, I was like, they had a contest?
You're like, what is going on? What is this random person going to do?
It makes sense, right? Random things happen. Yeah, but I don't want to get too far off or whatever because I've done this many times before to where because I got a professional and proper introduction and everything, and we get to yicky yakking and talking and everything, and you didn't be 20 minutes in and I done forgot how to do everything. So I'm gonna just kick my intro real quick. I'll introduce you, and then we'll just kind of pick up where we left off.
Okay.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week, or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if anybody recommended you to me, go ahead and give that person a crisp high five. But I know we are living in some trying times with COVID scares and different variants, more of them running around just like Loki and all this stuff. So if you want to be socially cautious and you don't want to physically touch and sanitize and wear masks and do all this other crazy stuff, you can pick up your social media app of choice and you can send that person that recommended you to me a well-crafted DM telling them thank you. Speaking of social media, you can find the Random Rounds with Rob on various social media platforms to include Twitter at 3R Show, Instagram at the 3R Show, because if you listen to the New Day podcast, it's just like Big E with his diatribe about how he lost to Langston off of Big E Langston. I can get into why it's the 3R Show on Instagram is because some sorry son of somebody made an account back in September of 2017, which we're coming up on the anniversary of, ironically, and they have not posted a post since then, and they're just holding up the freaking username at 3R Show on Instagram, and it irks my nerves so daggone bad, but I digress. But so you can follow me on Instagram at the 3R Show. And for video interviews, just like the one that you may be watching now, it more than likely will be on YouTube. And you can find some stuff on Twitch. You can find some stuff on Facebook just by searching 3R Show. And for anything that I may have forgotten to mention, you can go to randomrob.com and you can find all kinds of things, sponsors, all that crap. Anyway, let's get back to where we left off. Joining me to my virtual left, but right on my screen, I guess, however you're looking at it, is one RingSide Raine Cruz. For those of you who don't know who she is, most recently she just won the WWE TikTok guest ring announcer for SummerSlam, which is funny because if you listen to the last episode or the one previous, I believe, I was talking about how I was just at SummerSlam and I had no clue that this daggone contest was going on. And y'all know how I like, because I say like. At once upon a time, I said love professional wrestling because that's what I thought this was. I thought this thing that I felt was love until I met somebody who really loved professional wrestling. I was like, I'm nothing like that. So yeah, so I was out of the know about the contest, and it was a surprise that somebody was there, somebody won, and that's who this is here. so welcome.
Thank you for having me. I just want to say, is this like, are we making like a record right now? It's just like a history we're in. So your show is like triple R's, but then I'm like RingSide Raine. So that's like 5 R's now.
I just put it together. You dropping bombs on me right now. This is historic. You got laws all around. So 6 would be like six set. I can't say it, septuplets. So this is septuplet R. There we go. We got 3 on each side. This is a 6-person tag of R's. You got 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and we just about to throw down. So let me say something. We were just talking a little bit before I did the intro proper. I'll probably just leave all that crap in anyway. But you've been running through the gambit of media and everything, talking to interviewers from the Philippines, which I believe that's your origin, correct?
Yes.
So that and just different media outlets since you won the contest and everything. So what has that been like for you?
Oh my God, it's been, I don't want to say crazy. It's been amazing, actually. I have been doing interviews since, I want to say Tuesday of last week, just like nonstop every single day, back to back, sometimes like 3 interviews in one day. And to be honest with you, I'm grateful to have that opportunity because to me, if I can share my story with, other people and like other podcasts and like interviews, and someone gets to listen to it and, realizes that, hey, you know what, if she can like make it, she can accomplish her dream, then maybe I can do that. So if I can inspire someone just by listening, about my story, then to me, I'm going to be really happy about that.
Okay. And before you fully flush out your story and everything, just going through, because you won it off TikTok. So I automatically went to TikTok and sought out your account. So let me get something straight. Just at a glance, using my eyeballs, peeking into the veil that is social media. Mm-hmm. You started doing like a blog or a prediction thing on YouTube in 2019, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The TikTok contest started when?
The TikTok contest started last month.
So is that when your TikTok started?
Yes. Okay. I did not have a TikTok account until last month. Like, honestly, I tried doing TikTok videos like last year. And for some reason I was just like, okay, I don't get this. Like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm old. I'm just like, okay, I don't understand how this thing works. Cool. Then so I uninstalled it. So when I found out about the contest last month, I was like, well, of course it's on TikTok. I don't have TikTok. So I downloaded TikTok. That's why I don't have a lot of content on my page on TikTok. All I have is basically the stuff that I created to join the contest because I literally created it last month just to join this contest.
I know, because that's what I was looking at. I was like, okay. And then I started scrolling out. Then I was just like, wait a minute, this is the end. That's it. And then I go over to your Instagram. Then I I did see the post about your YouTube. Then I went over to YouTube. I was like, wait a minute. So there's content stacked on either end, but there's nothing on. I was like, wait a minute. First of all, you rigged the odds for everybody else because you had an advantage from the get-go or whatever. You've been getting your reps in prior to this contest and everything. So you've been practicing, and you kind of built your craft already, and you was like, contest. Ha! I got this.
What's funny is that I actually, so my YouTube page, I started in 2019. It's mostly, like you said earlier, just like a recap of like WWE pay-per-views. But the intention was, like you said, to practice. But I didn't really start ring announcing till this year. It just happened by accident that I found out it's something that
No. That was not an accident, because look at what happened and look at where we are now. It was meant to be.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, I remember showing up to an event. So basically, I started in the Indies this year, February. I was just, interviewing wrestlers, after they're done with the matches. So here comes March, my second event. I showed up at an event like 4 hours away from where we live. And I asked the promoter, hey, so who should I interview after the show or after, during the show? And he said, well, we canceled the interview. And I was like in my head, oh my God, we drove 4 hours to get here. So I said, anything else that I can do? Because in my head, I need something to post on the gram that I did something.
Yeah, especially if I drove 4 hours, I need something to show proof of something.
Yeah, but I didn't have TikTok at that time. But like in my mind, I got to post something on the gram that I did something here. It's my second event, So he said, we don't have a ring announcer. And so I was just like, okay, I have not done this. I can try. If you don't like it, let me know. I will never do it again.
Lies.
And so I did it. And, the rest is history. Like every time he had that same promoter, every time he had a show, he would, book me as the ring announcer. Mm. So SummerSlam was technically my 11th event, working, as someone who does something at a wrestling event.
Yeah.
Ring announcing wise, that was my 7th.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah. So 7-11.
Yeah, big gulps all around.
Free Slurpees.
See, there it is. Yeah. So going back to 2019 and everything, I mean, what was the catalyst for you trying to start the YouTube page and everything? What made you actually all right, I'm gonna do it?
I started watching WWE in the Philippines in 2006, right before I moved here. And I remember thinking to myself, how do I get there? And what I mean by that is not just being able to watch it in person. It was mostly how do I get there? Be a part of it. Mm-hmm. I was just so amazed about how it worked that to me, it's oh my God, how do they do these things? How do they create these things? So to me, I have a television production background, and I've always applied for TV production jobs at WWE. Never got a call back. So I was like, okay, what else can I do to be a part of the wrestling world? And just one day I was watching Raw and just kind of thinking about a character. I knew from the get-go, I'm not athletic. So I was like, well, being a wrestler is not really, it's basically out of the list for me. And so I was just thinking, I wonder what else can I do? And then my husband said, why don't you be a manager? And I was like, oh, you're right. And at that time, Asuka was being, she was basically, I think she was the women's champion at that time, but she was a baby face at that time. Mm-hmm. And I just came up with this idea of what if Asuka is a heel? And so that's how I started creating my videos on YouTube in 2019, and I basically created promos of me as Asuka's manager, as a heel manager. Mm-hmm. And then a few months after that, still in 2019, I was thinking, okay, well, I need more content. What do I do? So I thought of, okay, why not create predictions and reaction videos, WWE pay-per-views, which ironically, the very first one that I created was of SummerSlam 2019.
Yeah, that's weird. See, it's meant to be, right?
It's crazy. So it's weird as to how like things work. Cause like the way I saw it was, I wasn't, obviously I wanted people to watch my videos, but at the same time, I saw it as practice for me. Because to me, I wanted to kind of practice the way I talked in front of the camera, the way I carried myself, the way I organized my thoughts in my head. And at the same time, for some reason, I just had it in my head and in my heart that one day I will meet someone and I can show, hey, here's what I've done so far. Look at my work. I just always had that in my head and it's going to happen. I just didn't know when. But yeah, I just took it as, it's free to start a YouTube, create a YouTube video, upload it, and why not?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I tell anybody. They'll be like, "Oh man, I'm thinking about starting a podcast." I was like, "Do it. It's free." I mean, and then even if you don't like it, I mean, you definitively know that you don't like it by doing.
Yeah, and it's like nowadays, it's so easy to create something. We have like phones with cameras, and we can do something using our phones, and you can just upload it easily. Like I said, even if just for practice. And to me, I just remember, oh my God, I was a little bit scared because I was like, what if like people see this and they don't like it? And but then in my head, I was like, well, that's the thing. It's like, that's why it's called practice. You do something, and then you kind of see how you can like fix different things, improve certain things. So yeah, it's to me, like I look back and I'm like, man, I'm glad I started, creating those videos.
So, I mean, what was the idea? Because you said 2006 or whatever is when you started watching WWE and everything like that. So what was like the thing before then?
The thing before WWE?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I was still in the Philippines and I was a big fan of so I don't want to say telenovelas, like soap operas.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's mostly like Asian telenovelas that they like show in the Philippines. I was a big fan of that. And so like I remember like coming home from school and just literally recording these shows on VHS.
You sound like my mom. I'm like itty bitty child and as long as I can remember, my mother has watched and recorded soap operas.
Oh my God.
Till this day, my mom is 79 years old and she still record and rewatch. And it's weird because since she watched them since I was a child, and some of the people now that I'm a grown man with kids of my own, those people when I was a child are still acting on these shows.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Like what now they have children do acting in those shows?
Yeah, it's like my children's children are in this show with me.
Yeah, no, I was just like a big fan of like Asian soap operas. And the other thing that I was a big fan of is basically karaoke. Like in the Philippines, it's like basically how we party.
Yeah.
Like you'll get like a karaoke machine and you put quarters in it and then you get to sing. And it's just like a pastime for us.
Yeah,
So.
it's just one of those like it's almost like a movie trope as well. It's just like I mean they show people from over there. It's like they love karaoke. I was like, I guess kind of.
We just love to sing that. What's funny is that the songs that there are songs from like the 70s, 80s that I learned without listening to the song, but I learned of these songs because of karaoke. Mm-hmm. Like I would just like follow along and like listen, and then it just kind of like became like this hobby of mine to just like, oh, okay. It's like a video game for me. Like I'm following like the lyrics and like.
And so is that kind of like how you learn English, or did you do that in school or something like that? Yeah,
so English actually in the Philippines, it's part of the curriculum. Okay. Like as soon as you start going to school, they teach you English. From my experience, though, I learned English at school, but I didn't speak it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, my I grew up with my grandparents and they're from the countryside. So like when
Oh,
they speak Tagalog, it's like legit like hardcore like Tagalog. Like some
mhm.
words I do not even understand. um, but yeah, we never spoke English at home. So when I moved here, it was a bit of an adjustment because I lived with my mom and my stepdad. My stepdad is actually African American, so my mom was speaking Tagalog. My stepdad was speaking to me in English, and which was good because my
Yeah.
dad like kind of helped me practice. And so that's kind of like what helped me train my ear and then, train myself too into like speaking English.
Yeah. Like here in because I'm in Houston, Texas. So
Mhm.
the big side language here is Spanish.
Ah,
And
okay,
I
okay.
work I work at a place to where, I'm exposed to the language a lot. And I haven't they sent me on a detail to go work somewhere else. So I've been away from the people that have been speaking Spanish, and it's
Mhm.
like it's slowly draining away from me and everything. It's just like I started picking it up real good, like just enough to pass at work. So like, somebody can come up and they can just start speaking, and I can catch a couple words and I can kind of piece it together what they're trying to do, and I can help. But
Mhm.
damn, they sent me somewhere else, and I've been over there for a couple months, and then now I'm trying to remember those words because I'm going back, and I'm like, uh, uh, what's wallet? Cartera? Shit. All right. So I'm trying to remember, damn, Cinturón, the like belt or something. I'm just trying to remember all the simple things.
That's funny. Yeah, that's so to me, my dad really helped me out a lot, like in terms of just like, basically, because like when I first, well, yeah, when I went to the States, that was my first time ever to leave the country, to leave the Philippines. That was my first plane trip, literally to Las Vegas. That's where I first lived in the US. Yeah, I know out of all
Look
places.
at this. Lived in Vegas. SummerSlam in Vegas. First video about SummerSlam. Daggone. Look at this is not coincidence.
I know it's crazy as to how like things worked. And honestly, when I got to the event in Vegas, I remember they asked me, "So when did you move here? And then when did you become a citizen?" And I said, it's funny you asked me that question about being a citizen because August 21st, 2013 is when I became a citizen. And that's like
You're making stuff up now. You just making stuff up now.
like crazy. Like I didn't even realize that until they asked me. They're like, "Oh, great, cool. So like, how long have you been here? Blah blah blah. So when did you become a citizen?" And I was like, "Wait, hold up." It's crazy how like things work, and I don't know. It's like I felt like things just like lined up, and
Yeah.
it's just like I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it happened. How it worked out for me because I didn't really think I would win.
Well, I mean, like I said, you rigged the game or whatever. You put your reps in, you had practice or whatever. Because all you had to do is create account. I'm in.
Create an account. No, because like I remember, because you can like look up the hashtag and how many people have submitted to via TikTok. And I remember my videos weren't like the top liked videos, or
Yeah.
they weren't even showing. You have to keep scrolling to like find my video. And I've seen other people's videos, and some of them have like more experience than myself, and some were really creative. And I didn't know what WWE was looking for. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if they were looking for someone who has like a gimmick, or looking for someone who is like more established and more experienced. Because like for me, I was like, I don't really have a gimmick. I just
Yeah.
know I can, ring announce. I'll try, and then I'll upload my videos. But then you have to keep scrolling to find me. So I was like, I just hope they find me.
Yeah. I mean, just all those random tidbits of information it just all comes together or whatever. It's just like it's not a coincidence. It's just like this was supposed to happen. I just believe in things like that.
Yeah, me too. Like it's crazy as to how things work, man. Like, sometimes you think, something is impossible to achieve. And then you kind of look back and you're like, oh my God, okay. things were kind of like laid out for me, and in order for me to make it to where I want to be. So
okay. So I mean, I guess the simplest question would be like, so what's next? Because of this, or what? I mean, was there anything else besides this? Because I know this was just like opportunity. Let me do this real quick, and then I mean, but what was going on before this even happened?
What was going on before this?
Like the contest even come up. I mean, what were you on track doing or whatever?
I was contemplating about life, like for real. So basically, like I said, I started joining or doing like indie shows this year, and I had to change jobs to accommodate that schedule. And my new job, I'm really like struggling. So I was like, oh my God, did I really make a good choice, like switching jobs? Because I like my old job. Like I was working in television production, my dream job, or at least one of my dream jobs. And I had to make a choice. I just remember I had to make a choice. Like, okay, you love doing TV production. However, you also want to, be in the wrestling industry. So the way I looked at it was, you checked off that box. You did TV production. Okay. This other dream you haven't accomplished, maybe you should spend some time doing
Makes
that.
sense.
So I let go of that dream to pursue this other dream. And, like I said, like the past few months, I was just like, oh my God, did I make the right choice? Did I make the right choice? Because I'm struggling with this new job that I have. And then the contest, literally like the day before the contest was announced, I was just like in my head, like, oh my God, what did I do? Like, do I really want this that bad that like I made these decisions to accomplish this dream? And then the contest was announced the next day.
Yeah. And so basically, opportunity. Just fell in it. Just bloop.
And it's crazy because it's like, I thought it was like the answer to me wondering, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? And then when I won, it's like, I felt like that was like the stamp that like, okay, you're on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. And, after winning the contest, I was just like, okay, now what? Like, what do I do from here? And because I know this is just the beginning for me. And, I don't want it to be like, okay, great. I won the contest. Great. Yay. Thank you. No, to me, it's like, I saw it as, okay, I won the contest. And honestly, it was a challenge for myself. Like, to be honest with you, leading up to me finding out that I won, I remember telling my friends, I was like, okay, I really want to win, but I don't know if I'm ready for it. Because I just started ring announcing. Like I'm ring announcing in front of like, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. And so I was like, because like I knew in my head, if I win, I would have to be in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
I was like,
and that's another thing about the television production you were speaking about. I mean, you behind the camera,
behind the camera for years. So I was like never like, that person in front of the camera. So I was like, okay, am I really ready for this? And then, what kind of like, my I guess my thinking was, the week before SummerSlam, the week before I found out that I won, I had 2 back-to-back shows. And I remember, both shows, I had to work in the morning and go straight to the show. And the show was like an hour away from where I live.
Sheesh.
And like the second show, I remember coming home and I was just like exhausted. And I was just like, again, I was just questioning myself, how bad do you want this? Like, oh my God. And then, in my head, I was like, okay, well, I really hope I win. That way I get to answer the question of, can I really do it in front of thousands of people?
Yeah.
That was my thing. Cause like, it's like to me, I'm doing all these things like the hard work and all that, hustling and all that. But my end goal is to be in front of thousands of people. So in my head, I need to find out now if I can really be in front of thousands of people. So that was just a challenge for me. So a part of like, me joining the contest was like, I just need to know, can I really make it? Can I really do this for a living? Because one thing is, yeah, that's my dream. The other thing is, okay, once you've done it, can you do it over and over again? And is it something that I will enjoy doing over and over again?
Word. And then, to go back to your TV production background and everything, I believe that is an invaluable tool for the companies that you will start working with, ahead of time, especially if they're independent promotions and everything, because a lot of them are lacking that or whatever. And that's just something extra that you bring to the table or whatever. You can be kind of have your microphone doing your ring announcing thing, be like, slide the camera over a little bit.
Yeah. To be honest with you, when I first got to my very first promotion, I remember my promoter, he's like, yeah, you can like interview the guys and all that. I'd bring my cell phone camera, I had like my lapel microphone, I connected to my phone, because to them it's like, yeah, cool, let's shoot it using your phone and la la la. And I was like, okay, look, we want people to not just see it, but also to hear it well. So that way, when you guys are doing your promos and stuff, it sounds better. And I think they appreciate that extra touch of like me. I want to put them over too,
Yeah.
I went into this not just like thinking for myself, like I need my demo reel, or to me, it's more like I help you guys and you guys help me type of thing. And that's been like the environment that I've been in. So I'm really thankful that the promotions that I'm working with right now, Orange County Championship Wrestling and Venue Wrestling Entertainment, they really welcome me as, a part of the team. They take like any suggestions that I have. And so, which is nice. And, they're very supportive of me. So.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the bond that you kind of form with these independent companies and everything. Cause here in Houston, they got a promotion that I try to help out as much as I can, because the owner was a guest on my show.
Ooh, okay.
Once upon a time, because when he was going around doing his wrestling, he went to Booker T's school here in Houston.
Oh, nice.
And I got him on the show, and I talked to him and everything, and we just kind of talked and everything. I found out that he started a promotion. I was like, "What do you need? I'll be there. Just just tell me the time and the place. I'll show up. I'll help you put the ring together. I'll help you do anything that you need me to do." And it's just like, I want to see them succeed, and it's just, I don't know, it's just like, I like wrestling that much, because remember, I seen people who love this stuff, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I'll just, but like, I like it a lot, and I just like, I want to see it succeed.
Yeah, I'm the same way, to be honest with you. Like I tell the guys that, hey, if any way, shape, or form that I can help you guys to promote yourself, just like let me know. And that's why I really love ring announcing, because I feel like I'm that bridge between them and the audience. We're in. If this is some guy who is new, he's starting, it's his first match, no one knows about him. How would they know of him? Well, aside from, just seeing him a lot, well, it's through me, and the fact that I get to hype them out, they feel the energy. And if someone in the audience ends up liking their performance, they'll be like, oh yeah, oh, the ring announcer said it's so-and-so. Let me look him up on Instagram or something like that. So to me, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to help them out as well, because we're all just trying to pursue our dreams, and to me, if I can help them out just in that simple way, like I'm down for it. Because sometimes they're like, Raine, can you like say my nickname, it's this and that, or like my hometown is this instead, by the way, can you just like announce my weight is this and that? I'm like, sure. Is that real? I'll make it sound like it's real.
Yeah. Tell them I'm 6'3" and you looking down at them like, where's the other?
I know. I'm like, I'm 5'2". You said what?
Yeah. So speaking of help, I mean, I need a little help from you as well. I mean, I know you're relatively new to it and everything. You're getting your paces, your groove on and everything. But what tips could you give myself and others who may want to kind of follow in your footsteps and pursue that same path of being a ring announcer and anything? Because I can tell you from personal experience that I've done it once. I mean, it wasn't really ring announcing. I was in a ring. I had a microphone. I had a professional wrestler stand next to me while I ask questions. So I guess I was an interviewer. So, but I had to go through the whole thing of, yo, this is me and we are here and this is the guy and yada, 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 just like, what are some tips? Because I can probably pull the clip somewhere and send it to you. We can do some tape review and whatnot. But what are some tips that you could give myself and others that are interested maybe?
Yeah. So for me, I obviously just like take the first step. It starts with practice. For me, one of the main things is like you do your research. Basically, like before you get to the event, make sure you know by heart the card, because like it starts with being confident too. Like the things that you say, like the energy, you won't have that energy unless you're confident. So to me, I study the card, make sure I know like the hometowns, and some promotions they prefer for you to say the way, some promotions don't. So to me, I do my research, and then like if they have any nicknames, so that way when I say it, I'm confident, like, oh yeah, this person is really from Houston, Texas, versus Houston, Texas, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's people
like you're asking a question.
Yeah, people will know when you're doubting yourself. So to me, if you're prepared, you'll feel confident to deliver the message. The other thing is basically take care of your voice. For me, if I have an event, I try not to drink cold water throughout the day. I prefer like drinking warm water because it helps with my throat. I also carry cough drops. It helps with my throat. I used to sing at a church choir, and that was my thing. Like we always like carry like cough drops, like so that way before the mass starts.
And Werther's Originals.
It's just like it really helps with the throat. So, and then at the same time, when you like belt out your voice, you like basically like take a deep breath, get it from like the diaphragm, and then you like basically belt out your voice, because there is a difference between like your speaking voice and then your ring announcer voice is different, right? So when you belt out your voice, you'll realize how much power you have. So that's going to be like my advice.
Word. Yeah, no, I think you got a little bit of preview when I did the introduction or whatever, because I feel like whatever I'm doing in that segmented sketch is just like different from the rest of the conversation and everything. It's just like click. All right, welcome to the Random Reynolds podcast. Blah 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 blah.
You need to do voiceovers, by the way. I love your voice. Like the tone is very rich.
Sweet. I more practice. I need to get more of that. But because like that's been a hard thing for me, and I taught curriculum, so that's weird to even say. It's just like I have a hard time teaching materials or speaking about like, here you go, I need you to read this and just teach this, and I'll be like, well shit. So what is this? It's just like I have a confidence issue with that. But like, if I know this, and I guess it goes back to your preparedness. It's like I don't need this. I can just what I know and just kind of try to make it relatable or whatever. Because that's how it is when you try to teach somebody like a class or something like that. You try to take the material that you have and make it relatable to them. And so I dealt with a lot of younger kids and everything, right out of high school and stuff. So I am at that point in time, about 15, almost 16 years into my career already, and they just starting. And I'm just like, all right, so I've been doing this long and you just getting here. So how can I bridge the gap?
Yeah.
I was like, you walking around with cell phones, which I barely had when I was your age, So I'm trying to relate it to the newest iPhone at the time. And, I said, oh, what's this Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, and that's the thing too. When you are prepared, you will be less nervous or not nervous at all, because you're going to be just like confident, like, okay, cool. Like I know what to say, and here we go. I'm going to tell my friends about it right now.
I know for me, it's just got to be some things that I'm really excited about. Cause like I can make a list of things, but it's just, my memory is poop. That's kind of why I do podcasting, because it's a audio record of things I've said. So it's just like, I don't remember saying that. Oh, I did say that. All right. So,
You and me both. My memory is like bad. That's why to me, to be honest with you, I always have my notes on my phone. Just because I want to keep looking at it until like I have to go up, because like my memory is just like bad. Like sometimes like my husband would just tell me something and be like, cool. And then like 5 minutes later, he asked me again, like, so did you like, grab the mail or something like that?
yeah.
Huh?
Kind of why I have a wife. It was just like, hey, I need this to happen. So remind me. All right, cool. And we got the technology and everything. I could easily put it in my phone, but it's nothing like interaction with my wife. Just like, tell me to do some things so I don't forget.
Remind me to remind you.
Yeah, and that was a funny line that I used to have or whatever. My wife would ask me, of all people, to remind her to do something or something like that, just as a backup. And I would forget. we are. I already set this up. I forget. No shit. And she'd be like, "You forgot to tell me to do this." I was like, "Well, you remembered that you told me to do this, so obviously you remembered."
It's amazing.
And then I would get in trouble.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's true. I mean, you remember that you told me to tell you to do the thing. So, I mean, you
And then
remember
now
twice. I was just like, all right, shenanigans. Oh, but as far as the promotions that you deal with, who are the premier athletes that stand out in your mind? It's just like if you see the card that they're gonna be on it, and then just like you already know this stuff in your head, and you're just like excited to see them perform.
One of them would be Jack Cartwheel.
I seen that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you know who I'm talking about.
He does a cartwheel.
Yes. Like
amongst other things that we just can't just limit it at that.
Yeah, every time I see him on the card, like I know it's gonna be like a great show because he knows how to hype up everyone. But at the same time, the whole cartwheel thing that he does, it like just hypes up like everyone in the crowd. And
weird.
I introduced him once, and like he got in the ring. I said, "Jack, cartwheel," and then he does his cartwheel, and I wasn't prepared for it, but I was just like, "Okay, great."
He's like, why wouldn't he do it?
But like, cool. It was like really funny. But yeah, so whenever I see him on the card, like I always know it's gonna be like a great match because he also has like a lot of following now. He wrestles not just with OCCW and VWE, but he also kind of like goes around and like wrestles for other promotions.
Yeah, I've been seeing him. I seen him for the first time in GCW.
Oh yeah, he did GCW. I want to say last week or 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I want to say that's his debut as well. Mm-hmm. And then so Jack Cartwheel, and then Vito Fratelli. He's our he's our Sicilian wrestler. He's a heel. He always does that. Forget about it. That's his line. So normally when I see him on the card, or sometimes like when I'm working an event, I message him. So are you like doing the show? And then he'd tell me, yeah, perfect. Because I love like announcing his name because he comes out as a heel. So everyone's just like booing him. And then I'm announcing his name. And then he's just like, forget about it. So yeah, there those two. And then who else? Oh God. What is his name? So we have Chris Nasty. He's one of the newest guys that we have at VWE. One of the fastest rising guys in VWE. He's also a heel. And we have this thing where when I announce his name, I try to like do like a long version of Chris. And then once he jumps down from the top turnbuckle, he looks at me and I tell him. But no, he's such a great heel as well. So I really, I really see a lot of potential in him. Like, because, at the indie shows, we're that close to people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, it's hard to make a mistake because people can see it right away. And so the fact that they are able to just like make people annoyed or just like, clap for them and all that, like the fact that they can get engaged with the people who are like that close to them, I think it's really good because that is something that you need to carry when you are working a larger crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a lot of potential in them, and like the rest of the guys and girls that we have in our promotions as well, they are doing their best to in terms of just like connecting with the crowd, and I think that's why I love I mean, even before I got my gigs, with reporting and ring announcing at indie shows, I actually love going to indie shows just for the fact that I get to be that close to the action.
Yeah. Honestly, let's say what year? 2014 for me was my first bout with independent shows because I was born and bred on WWE, WWF. It's just like that was my bread and butter. It's like I had a VHS tape with the top 5 WrestleMania matches from WrestleMania 1 through 5, and it was all the main event matches that I used to watch that tape over and over again. And then I was an outside kid because we didn't have all this technology and all this other stuff or whatever. So I didn't watch wrestling regularly. That's a word for me there. So it's just like whenever I caught a glimpse of it, it was just like, wow, wrestling's, And then, my dad, he was just messing with me, but he didn't really care. He just like, I'm sitting there, I'm like getting into it, like, yeah, little me and stuff, like wrestling. And he coming there, that's fake, right? I'm like, no, it's not. He hit him with a chair.
It's still real to me, damn it.
And then I grew up and found out, and I was like, so what? Wrestling. Matter of fact, I mean, finding out what they do made me respect it even more because it's just like you are purposefully hurting yourself for my entertainment.
Yep. And it's crazy. It's like I found like, I appreciated wrestling more after I got involved into like these independent shows because it's like, yeah, people say, yeah, it's fake, right? But to me, it's like, well, the storylines are created, yes, but the action is real. People get hurt, they don't do the show and like they, fake the whole, oh, I get hurt and all that. I mean, because there are spots obviously that they try to act like they got hurt, but there are also other instances wherein they do get hurt. And that's the thing that I feel like people need to understand. We're in, although the storylines are created, the action put their lives in danger.
For the most part.
Real.
So I know you said you was like, oh, I don't feel like I could do it or whatever. But have you ever, I know you've been inside the ropes, but have you ran them? Have you taken a bump? I mean, anything? That's
going to be, that's something that I'm working on because like they've actually my friends and
because you get the itch. I'm telling you, it's like it's a given because like I remember the first time I actually like seen the ring, like bare, like broken down on the ground to be put together, and like I lost my shit. It's just like my hands was shaking. I was like, oh, it's a ring. It's like it's really right here. I was like, I can touch it. When the guy showed me how to put it together, and I'm putting it together, and I didn't step inside the ring to do anything. I did everything from the outside, and I was just like, because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to like, I didn't pay dues or nothing to be inside of the ring and everything. So I did everything from the outside, just like get up here and tighten these turnbuckles. I was like, I'm doing the one on the bottom, so I don't have to stand on the apron and everything. And it was just like, I don't know, it's just like otherworldly. And then I got a little bit of training and everything, and I got to, do some of the stuff. And that first bump, I didn't know what to make heads or tails of it. Because it's like, I've done that type of training before because I was in the military and we do something similar to how they do their falls and everything. It's called break falls and everything. They teach you how to fall on your back, fall forward, brace yourself for impact. So I was familiar with that stuff already, but it's just different to where you got to interact with another person while you're doing it. I guess, and that still kind of don't make sense because I did like martial arts and stuff. So I still had to apply those. It's different with wrestling. God damn it. Because like a guy is flying at me and I know that he's trying to hit me, but not really hit me. So I got to make it look good. It's just like other elements to it to where like if he would have just hit me for real, I would have known what to do then. I was like, you know.
Yeah. There's a lot of elements involved to it because it's not just the two of you. It's the two of you and the people reacting, the people watching. How do you incorporate their reaction? Because we've seen this before on WWE, for example. We're in, for example, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch when Becky was trying to turn heel, and like the crowd just like no, they wanted that energy from her, and like I feel like they just kind of went with what the crowd wanted. So it's not just like the two characters. It's not like theater wherein the characters are just set to just what they're supposed to be.
Yes.
Wrestling is like the characters in the ring plus what's going on outside. Like the people, like us watching it, we're involved somehow in what's going on in the ring.
Yeah, I think the biggest example is Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson or whatever you want to call him. The whole movement, WrestleMania 30, all that stuff. It was just amazing.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, as much as people say, yeah, it's fake and all that, it's like, there's a lot of elements to wrestling that I really hope people will appreciate. Because again, like I said, it's not, for example, you go watch a movie, that's it. They can't change anything. It doesn't matter how you like the movie. It's done deal. With wrestling, it's like they react according to how people react. And that's the beauty of it. And that's why I love it. Because it's like, you will never know how, there is a plan.
Yeah.
On how things should go. We're hoping, maybe this person will like this, person or whatever. But it's surprising as to how people react. It's like the instant gratification of like.
Yeah. And even that, what you just said, instant gratification. We live in a world to where, summon the pizza and is at my door in 30 minutes or less. People want what they want now, this generation at least. And it's just like they don't have the tolerance to let things cook and pan out and everything and whatnot. So it's just like, I want this to happen. I want this to happen. And in another thing about like what I've grown into with movies, one of the things you were talking about is I used to love the trailers. I used to go out of my way to find the newest trailer, on IMDb, and just like me and my wife used to just lay up in the bed and just watch trailers before we went to. This is before TikTok. So we would just lay in the bed and watch all the new movie trailers and everything. But it was just like when I would go to the movie, I would sit there and I would obsess of the stuff I seen in the trailer. I was like, so when is this part going to come up that I seen in the trailer? And like I didn't like that. So I actively stopped looking for the trailers. I didn't look up any info about the movie other than the release date so I know when to go. And I found that I enjoy the movies more, going in blind or not knowing as much about it. It's kind of hard to do that when you're actually sitting in the theater and they got like 30 damn freaking trailers that pop up. But I try to get there on time. So like if you and it depends on your theater as well, because some theaters they were like, all right, the movie started at 3:30. That means they're rolling the trailers at 3:30.
Yeah.
The places where they said the movie started at 3:30, and when I walk in there, the movie is playing at 3:30. I'm like, oh snap!
I need to get to my seat.
Fumbling my popcorn and everything. So it just depends on your theater. If I could find the one they say, all right, the movie started at 3:30, and it's just trailers, I'll lollygag. I'll take my time. I'll hang out at the little concession stand. And most movie theaters are so plush and pleather and everything. They got bars in there. I'll sit at the bar and drink me a cocktail before I go in there. And I just like, all right, the preview should be over by now. And I just stroll right on in and watch my movie.
You'll find me getting extra butter. Oh, I still have time.
Yes.
Extra butter in my popcorn. It's not gonna
so much butter.
let me get my free refill on my popcorn before I
Oh
walk.
yeah. So I assume you get the VIP access to where you get unlimited popcorn and ice cream. Because that's the thing that we have here. There's like you get the VIP tickets, you get unlimited popcorn and ice cream. Ice cream and popcorn is a weird combo.
No, I've only been to one and you can do unlimited refills on popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like during like while watching trailers, I'm like just like inhaling the popcorn, and it's like I tell my husband, "All right, go grab some more."
Yeah, they were like, and bring back some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still want to watch the movie.
Yeah. And it's like after a while, it's like you feel so high posh and everything. You got all this unlimited popcorn. You just kind of like throwing it in the aisles and everything.
Movie starting.
You're like, hey, you want some popcorn back there? But yeah, it's been a delight and everything. But this is where we kind of wind on down. So you gave everybody the tricks and tips and tricks of the trade and everything. I mean, where you came from, where you're inspiring to go. I wish you all the best. You know, I mean, like now that I know, I mean, you about to beef up this TikTok content and everything. I know that much. So now I can scroll more. And I'll be keeping my eye on you or whatever. So I'll probably go to the next SummerSlam and there you are again.
I hope so. That's the goal. I don't want the one time to be just one time. I'm turning that one time into a full time somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm. And then I mean, they're coming back. They're coming back with Money in the Bank to Vegas.
Woo. I really hope so, man. Like I really enjoyed being in that ring, and going back to what I said earlier, that I needed to find out if this is what I really wanted to do. I mean, I know that's what I wanted to do, but then again, it's different when you're there, because there's a lot of people looking at you. I just remember being in that ring with everyone around, and I remember asking because Mike Rome was like, hey, make sure you get a chance to like look around, take it all in. And I remember thinking at first, do I really do that? Because once I do that, I am acknowledging that there's 51,326 people here.
The number.
So I was like, do I really do that? But then like when we got in the ring and, I asked him, I was like, can I wave? And then he's like, sure, Raine, it's your moment. Because I remember being inside the ring in the middle and like, I could hear everyone. And that moment just felt right. Like, that's why I started waving, because I was like, oh my God, this is what I've always dreamed about. And the fact that I felt comfortable, that to me was like, that was my answer. I'm on the right path. This is what I need to do. And, I want to keep doing this over and over and over again. Like literally after I did my announcing, I was like, oh my God, I want to get back in there again. Please, I want to get back in there again.
Yeah, you should ask him. You should ask Mike Rowe. You was like, hey, can I just like do the next couple? And you just kind of like take a break, go get some popcorn and everything, and some ice cream, a lot of butter.
Yeah, all right. No, but yeah, it's that event, that moment, being a guest ring announcer at SummerSlam, it's really to me like the beginning of me. I mean, I know I've already started like trying to pursue my dream, but that moment right there was basically my stamp of you are on the right path. Keep doing what you're doing. So.
Yeah, and all the other stuff that you mentioned and everything is just like I told you, it's not coincidence.
Thank you.
And I want to ask one more thing before we did leave or whatever, because like I was at SummerSlam, you was at SummerSlam, so obviously I don't know if you went through some of the same hardships I went through. I was kind of 3 sheets to the wind by the time Edge and Seth Rollins went at it, because we got there and I was just like, I was amazed that like, damn, they ain't got no lines out here. I mean, the concession stands was like bare because I guess everybody was just kind of trying to get to their seat and wanting to get in. So I mean, I went straight in, went straight to the concession, got me one of them brisket burritos from the barbecue joint, ate that, got back up, went back out. I was like, damn, still ain't nobody out here. Got me a drink, went back down, sat down. I was like, that burrito was kind of good. So I went back, got another one and had a couple more drinks. And I mean, by the time, the show got rolling, I mean, I was content. But when I was filling that next burrito and that next drink, the system went down. So did you experience any of that stuff, or did they have you catered to and pampered down in the bottom?
Well, so what happened was because we got there early, like we got there at like 8:45 in the morning.
Oh, well, shit.
Yeah, so we were able to like partake on the catering for breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
And then and then after I did my whole ring announcing, I still had my backstage pass. So I got hungry at one point and I just kind of like went back and like grabbed some snacks.
All right. So, you were taken care of.
It was a long walk though.
Like that was the trade-off. I mean, for us, you just had a long walk for free food.
I guess yes, that was a trade-off.
Because like the whole like the purchasing system crashed.
Like everywhere, like the whole stadium.
Just from what I understand, I know especially where we were, because where I sat at was that, the entrance. I was right there.
Oh.
So I was right above the entrance. So when Edge came out on that little conveyor cart thing with the fire and all that shit, like I was like right there, like this shit is hot.
Oh my god.
So
oh
we just went up there and people was like, yeah, the payment machine is down, it's broke. So it was just like only 2 stands up there, like the pizza place and some other place was the only 2 things that was open that would take cards and payments and everything for food and drink. So they wind up giving away free food and everything because it was just going to go bad because nobody could buy it and everything. So I was just like, damn, I missed out on that. But like I said, I had a couple drinks in me already and I had full of burritos and I was just like, this is cool. I'm just fine. I'm gonna watch the rest of this show.
Not gonna get up anymore. I'll just stay here.
No. And it was like, hey man, go give me a drink. I was like, nah, the machine broke. I'm just sit right here.
That's awesome.
Yep. But I could probably go a little bit longer, but I gotta go do adult things in the morning. So
adult things in the morning.
Yes. So this is where we put the pin in it. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you on social media and everything that you got going on.
Yes, thank you so much. You guys can find me. You can find Raine Cruz at RingSide Raine, and that's Raine with an E on Instagram. Yep, right there on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and also on YouTube at youtube.com/RingSideRaine.
Word. So as it is for every guest of the Random Realms with Rob podcast, the door is always open for you to come back and promote your next big thing, and or just to come to shoot shit, just hang out.
Hey, thank you for having me. And the next time I come back, this bare wall, the blank canvas will probably have something. I don't know.
You just make you like a little tarp deal or whatever. You just pin it up, and then when you're done, you just pull it right on down.
That is true. I should make it purple, and then like there'll be like purple rain. There you go.
I had this the whole time. I forgot about it.
But if something goes wrong, well, you can blame it on rain too. So.
Yeah. Blame it on the rain.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've heard these things many times. So.
Oh, all right. So I mean, I kill my wife with puns, and she just look at me like, just leave me alone. She kicked me out sometimes. She's like, "Don't you want to go play video games or something?" I was like, "I kind of do, but I want to sit here and annoy you some more."
Oh God, that's funny.
Hello, everybody. This is Hoppy. What's up, everybody? I'm over here cooking dinner with hooks, rubs, and spices. B-Rob turned me on to this stuff, and I tell you what, it's great. It's a homemade blend of the finest ingredients sourced from Texas gardens, farmers, and markets. And it's some good shit. I tell you what, try the smoke and sweetness, or you can try Hoppy's favorite, the Mad Cow, which is a nice peppery slap in the face. One taste, and you'll be hooked. Hooks, rubs, and spices.